All right, let's talk about taking that brilliant app idea you've been dreaming about and actually turning it into something real, something you can run on an iPhone or a Mac.
We've all been there, right? You're going about your day and suddenly it hits you. Hey, there should totally be an app for that. It's this awesome spark of an idea for a new game or a tool that would make life so much easier. And then that spark kind of fizzles out because the reality sets in. You think about all the code, the complexity, and you have no idea where to even begin. It feels like this giant wall, and honestly, it stops so many amazing ideas right in their tracks.
But here's the thing. What if that wall wasn't quite so high anymore? What if you had a smart assistant that could give you a boost over that first toughest part? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into, how you can use AI to finally get your idea off the ground.
Okay, first things first. Before we even get to the AI part, we need to get familiar with the basic tools of the trade. You got to know your way around the workshop before you start building anything, right? So the workshop itself is called Xcode. This is Apple's official all-in-one place for app development. It's where you'll write code, test your app on a little phone simulator, and get it all polished up for the App Store. It's your home base. Now, inside that workshop, you have to speak the local language. And for Apple, that language is Swift. It's modern, it's powerful, and Apple designed it to be way easier to read and write than older languages. This is how you'll give your app its instructions.
And this is where it gets really cool for beginners. Swift UI. Think of it like a set of pre-made building blocks for your app's interface. Instead of building a button or a list from scratch, you just declare what you want. You say, I want a title here, a list here, a button down there, and Swift UI just does it. This approach is absolutely perfect for working with an AI assistant.
So now that we know the tools, let's introduce our new helper. We're talking about AI models like OpenAI's Codex, which has been trained on tons and tons of code. The most important thing here is the mindset. This is not a magic build my app button. Think of it more like a super smart collaborator that already knows its way around your workshop.
And this quote right here, this really nails it. The point of using AI isn't to skip learning how to do things. The point is to get rid of that initial friction, that staring at a blank page feeling that makes you want to quit. It helps you jump from, I have no clue what to do, to, oh, hey, I actually have something on the screen that I can start tweaking. So how does it actually work? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You describe what you want a screen to look like in plain English, and Codex translates that into real, working Swift UI code. You describe the pieces, and it generates the building blocks for you. It's a way to see progress almost instantly. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this look like in the real world? Let's walk through a simple, step-by-step workflow that anyone can follow to get from an idea to an actual, visible interface. Look, the biggest mistake people make is trying to build the whole entire thing at once. Don't do that. The secret is to break it down. First, know your idea. Then, just make a simple list of the screens you'll need. Home, settings, profile, whatever. Then, and this is key, pick just one of those screens, describe it to your AI, have it generate the Swift UI code, and then pop that into Xcode to see the live preview. From there, you just refine it and repeat for the next screen. It's a cycle that keeps you from getting overwhelmed.
And making that workflow, work comes down to this: how you ask for help. The quality of what you get back is a direct reflection of how good your instructions are. A vague prompt like "build me an app" is going to get you nowhere, but look at the one on the right. It's specific. It says what kind of screen, what it's for, and what elements to include. You have to give the AI a clear blueprint. Now, once you have a workflow going, there's another super important layer to think about: designing for the right device. See, it's not enough to just make an app work. You have to make it feel right. And an app on an iPhone feels totally different from an app on a Mac. I mean, just think about it. On your iPhone, you're using your thumb. Everything is designed for touch, for quick taps, and for looking at one screen at a time. On a Mac, you've got a mouse, a keyboard, big windows, sidebars, menus. It's a whole different world. A great app respects that. So when you're writing your prompts, make sure you tell the AI if you're building for that focused, tap-friendly feel of iOS or the big, open workspace of macOS.
A huge part of learning something new is just knowing what not to do. So let's quickly cover a few of the most common traps that beginners fall into so you can hopefully sidestep them and save yourself a ton of headaches. Yep, these are the big ones. First, trying to build your masterpiece on day one just leads to burnout. Slow down. Second, don't just blindly copy and paste the AI's code. At least try to understand what it's doing, or you won't be able to fix it later. Third, Apple has amazing design guides for a reason. Read them. They'll help your app feel like it belongs. And finally, always prioritize clarity. A simple, clean screen that works is 1,000 times better than a cluttered, confusing one.
All right, we've gone over the tools, the workflow, the things to avoid. So where do you actually practically begin? Let's talk about some concrete first steps you can take to start building something real, like today.
The best way to start is to keep it small and visual. Ask the AI to build a simple screen or a little reusable piece like a card. These are perfect starter tasks. But honestly, the most powerful thing on this list might be the last one, asking the AI to explain the code it just wrote. Don't just use it as a code factory, use it as your own personal tutor. It's a total game changer for learning.
And that really brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. The smartest way to use this technology is to think of it as your partner. It's a collaborator. It's there to help you brainstorm, to write the boring stuff, to explain things you don't get. But you're still the director. You're in charge, you make the final calls, and most importantly, you're the one who's learning as you go.
So that idea that's been rattling around in your head, it's closer to being real than ever before. The tools are there, that initial friction is way lower, and now you've got a clear path to get started. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?